Hi guys, Frank here, and today I want to have a quick chat about these things, masks. Now don't wear them as wrong as I do, but I think we all should be wearing one. And I'll tell you why. Now earlier today, Chief Minister Howard Quayle announced that there will be certain relaxations to the restrictions we all lived under for the last few weeks. In particular, come Friday, people will be allowed to go back to work as long as they can work on their own and keep all the social distancing rules. We will also be allowed to go on non-essential journeys again, which means a lot of people will be jumping in their cars and going to beauty spots for a walk, or just try and leave the house, because many of us, me included, have pretty much been stuck at home. When we do that, there will be a lot more people out and about, and I think even before then it's advisable we wear one of these anytime we leave the house, as long as corona is still a problem. And I'll tell you why. And it's not just me saying this, okay? Earlier today, Germany announced that wearing masks in public is now mandatory. So anyone who leaves the house in Germany has to wear one. Some of the states, the Länder, already had this rule. They just made it countrywide. Many states in the US require you to wear one. You can't go to Walmart anymore without wearing a mask. Singapore the same. You can't go shopping without a mask. Many countries do this. Many companies also do it. Malaysian Airlines, Korean Airlines require you as a passenger to wear one of these, or you won't be able to board. Philippine Airlines went one step further and even designed a completely new outfit for their crew that incorporates personal protective equipment. So, these things work. And in my mind, it's an absolute no-brainer that we should all be wearing masks every time we go outside. I know some people are concerned about buying these ones, the surgical type, because they think if we all buy them, then there are none left for the NHS because of supply and demand and, problems in getting enough for them for the hospital. I understand that. In that case, get a fabric one. Either buy one. A friend sent me this one from Germany. You can actually it's typical German, it's over-engineered. It's homemade, but you can put an extra filter inside it. So it's like the Mercedes under the 1980s Mercedes under the breathing masks. You can also make one at home. I will link to the description to how to make 2 or 3 different types in the description of this video. 1 or 2 of those mask types you will need a sewing machine or thread and needle. One of them you don't need anything apart from a piece of cloth and 2 rubber bands. So really, it's easy to make a mask at home, and anything is better than nothing. Simply because wearing a mask, even a non-surgical one, prevents the spread of droplets from your mouth. So if you go into town, and maybe you're infected, maybe you're not, it doesn't really matter, okay? You go into town, you go into Tesco, you shop, you have to sneeze, you have to cough, or you're just talking to someone. You have tiny particles, tiny droplets leaving your mouth and spreading in the area around you. Now, wearing one of these is reducing the amount of spray, reducing the number of droplets that you spray all around yourself. I know the virus is going to get through this, okay? And people will say, oh, it's not medical, blah, blah, blah. Anything's better than nothing. This doesn't reduce your risk by 5 or 10%. This reduces your risk by 95% compared to not wearing one, because there's less spray coming out of your mouth. And if someone breathes in your direction, there's less risk of you catching it and it going into your mouth. So in my mind, complete no-brainer. Now, Howard Quayle today also said that the coronavirus is here to stay and we have to learn to live with it for some time to come. I completely agree. It's a very realistic view of things. It has caused the usual reactions on social media, of course. And some people are understandably upset about it and say, the economy is being put above human lives and whatnot. I understand why people think like that, but we have to be realistic. We can either stay in our houses until they find a vaccine, which could be in 3 months, could be in 6 months, could be in 2 years. Or we can try and return to some sort of normality with good precautions in place. And these precautions mean social distancing. These precautions will very likely mean high risk category people, so elderly, pre-existing conditions and so on, will have to remain under lockdown. But in my mind, sooner or later, these will also be made mandatory because it just makes sense. So we will then return to, some sort of new normality where we will all run around wearing these, where we will all keep our distance, where we will all still queue outside the supermarket, and where we will simply keep those who are most vulnerable to this nasty virus at home and out of harm's way. So it's a sort of a compromise. There's no perfect solution here. And I'm sure it's not a comfortable position or an easy decision to make for politicians. They're doing a very good job in, in the current situation. One important thing about these masks, no matter which one you wear, is that you wear them correctly. And I don't just mean, being stupid and wearing them over your eyes like I did, or, wearing them wrong like actually a lot of politicians also did. There are pictures on the internet they probably better want to forget. No, what I mean is I'll tell you the way I wear them. Every time I leave the house, I put a mask on. I only take it back off when I come back home. And what I do is before I put it on, I wash my hands. Then I go out, go shopping, whatever. And then when I come back, before I take it off, I wash my hands again. So that way you prevent, any virus or anything from reaching your face or from being transferred to the mask or to your skin. So you just reduce your risk. That's pretty much the only thing I do. Now, of course, if it's a surgical one, you can't really wash it. They're meant to be single use. People say you can put it in the oven at, I think, 70 degrees or something. You can probably try that. If you have a fabric one, then if it's made out of cotton, then simply boil it. Put it in a boiling wash or a boiling hand wash and kill off any viruses that you have in there just simply by boiling it. That's really all there is to it. Anything is better than nothing. If you don't want to wear a mask, use a scarf, use a bandana, use a motorcycle item, right? Everyone has like a bandana thing at home. Use whatever you can to cover your mouth and reduce your risk of spreading it yourself. You might be carrying the virus and not knowing it. I might be carrying it not knowing it. And also reduce your risk of contracting it, because any person you pass, and things are getting bigger. I mean, down there on the prom on a sunny day, there's a lot of people walking up and down, and everyone who walks past you and breathes out or coughs, or there's a lot of cyclists, right? That's heavy breathing. They might be spreading it. This helps you in the fight against corona. It's as simple as that. I think it will be mandatory sooner or later, but we might as well all start wearing them now. Make one at home, order one online, whatever you do. Wear a mask and help us to get rid of the stupid virus faster.